Hello everybody and welcome to the mix rundown of Rocky Leon's Billionaire. In this video I'm going to show you every channel, what I did there and how the mix came together. I'm Lucas from LW Sonics and let's get to it. This is the mixing session or stem mastering session of Rocky Leon's song Billionaire. So we got some drums, we got some bass, guitars, ukuleles, sound effects, and background vocals and main vocals in red. And that's it. So let's play the drums on solo. Sound powerful. So let's go through them individually. I got a kick drum where I just increased some 63 Hertz to extend some low end. Gonna play to you without it and with it. So this stuff, this knock gets increased a little bit. Then this track is also sent to the bass where it ducks away the bass. This is where we get to later when we get to the bass. Now there's a snare drum going which just has some high pass or low cut around 78 Hertz, which sounds like this. That's about it. And there's also some reverb on the snare. Which is already added to it in the sample. Then I do send some extra reverb right here in this section where it's just a side stick snare where this send is activated, which goes to this Lexicon 224 with this drum room preset, and afterwards there's this EQ to get rid of some low frequencies and increase high frequencies and the lower mid-range for just for the reverb tail. So let me play the side stick snare for you with the reverb. Then let's play the reverb on its own and the reverb without the EQ. It's subtle, but it's there and it's important. Then we got some hi-hat where I get rid of some low end and also get rid of some 370 Hertz stuff. I'm gonna play this to you. Get rid of this stuff without this. With it, it gets thinner, way thinner. And then there are some toms playing occasionally, like right here. Just get rid of some mid-range and increase some low-end, just like I did on the bass drum. So let's listen to it without it. With it. Gets a bit more powerful. And altogether, many subtle changes make a big difference. So there are overheads, where I also get rid of some low end. And then there is this drum mix. So this drum mix actually has some plugins on it right here. Let's get away from this tom part. So I start with adding some soothe, which gets rid of some harsh stuff like this stuff. Let's wait for some cymbals. Yeah. Let's increase it with the compressor. And also a low cut after this compressor. So this adds a lot to the drum sound right here. Let me play the drums to you without this. And now I add in this parallel compressed track. And the drums get way more powerful. These are the drums. Let's add in the bass. On the bass, I add a low pass, high pass, sorry, which is very low at 13 Hertz. And I get rid of some 80, which sounds a bit boomy, this one, which I save for the bass drum to be in there. Then there's some low-end compression going on to stabilize low-end, which is very important. Then there's some distortion going, which is only in this section. So from 150 to 9.5K, no distortion in the low-end, which is very important. Then I added some compression in the end, but this is not compression. This is now the sidechain that the bass drum is adding. So every time the bass drum plays, it pushes away the bass. Now we got bass and drums going. Oh, I see something. There is some distorted kick added in there also, which is just an effect sometimes, which comes in here.
Compounding interest and blah blah blah. Sound investments.
This is a separate sample he sent in afterwards. Yes, good job. And then we got some guitars going right here. On the guitars, I didn't do that much, but I did do something. So I added this lower range and this upper range, but this one up here only gets added to the side signal to make it more wide. And also some percussion, some high passing around 53 Hertz. Then there's a part added to it, which just gets added to this folder, so there's nothing going on separately in terms of plugins. Then there's an ukulele. So on the ukulele we got some increased low end and some decreased top end. And you see the automation with the guitar. Whenever the guitar goes up, the ukulele goes down, and vice versa. So here you got low ukulele and now high ukulele. And the guitar does the opposite. Exactly. And now let's go further. We now have some background vocals. Yes, so I increased the lower mid-range of it and decreased the top end to get rid of some S and high notes so that they stay back in the mix. Exactly. Without it. With it. Yes, so it doesn't pop out that much. And this gets sent to a reverb, which is this one right here. Very subtle, but it's there. Then let's go further. We have these doubling vocals, where I just have some high passing going and some de-essing. De-essing again, same effect like on the track before with this stuff. Get rid of high notes and not make it pop out that much. So just leave it in the track, which is way more important, because then stuff stays at its position. This is why I have a heavy hand on de-essing and decreasing top end on background vocals. Then also some ad-libs in here. I increased some 2.7 to increase this telephony kind of effect. And also afterwards a de-esser again to not have that much S going. Let's see. Yeah. So this is also just for percussion on there. Then there are also some effects going, which is like some saxophone and some steel drum and some horns and this stuff and this stuff. So this is just has got some high pass on. Then I have the main vocals right here, which are this, and there are these plugins. Like this is the microphone emulation that I like to use the same because he has the microphone of Slate, and so I use these plugins for it. Then I do, in this case, nothing with the EQ, haha, and some compression is going on right here.
Do it for 1,000 years without spending a dime.
Multiband limiter.
And if you make $1 million every year,
multiband limiting to show this stuff.
You still have less than the top 5.
Only this stuff. It's very important to compress this stuff, especially because then vocals stays put at a certain position in the mix.
Do it for 1,000 years without spending a dime.
Same in the low end. To make it less boxy. Then again some high passing and some fresh air, which is this one.
But compounding interest
without it,
do it for 1,000 years without spending
really brings the vocal forward. So this is the main vocals, and there's also some separate effects that he already printed. This. which get just mixed in there. And then there's this part, which actually got replaced afterwards because he changed lyrics, as far as I remember. So that's it. Let me now add everything to it and just build the mix from the beginning. Drums, bass, guitars, ukulele, background vocals, and main vocals.
Here's what you gotta make $1 million every year, and then do it for 1,000 years without spending your time. La-da-da-da-I. And in 2025, the richest dudes alive can spend $7 million every day for 80 years.
Do you really think that anyone deserves more than like 50 grand a month?
What? No.
Now what is 50 grand a month over 80 years?
That's a good question. That's less than 50 million, not 5.
And that's it. And if you are working on a song of your own at the moment, reach out now, because for the first 3 people who DM now, I can give some free feedback on what you're working on. So be quick and talk soon. All the best. Bye bye.